I posted at length about this in Slack, but there was something I forgot to talk about yesterday in the afternoon. Part of why we ended so dang early, and that is database rules. Anybody know the difference between authentication and authorization? So authentication is who you are. That's verifying your identity. And authorization is what you're allowed to do now that we know who you are. So what we've done is all just authentication, verifying your identity when you log in. But we haven't said that you're only allowed to access certain data. Now our app is kind of enforcing that, but we're not enforcing it at the database level, and that would be safer. That would protect us from stupid programming errors. And under database, you may remember the rules tab, where originally we had something that said basically you must be authenticated and that's about it. Then we changed it so that everyone can read and everyone can write every single record. If you look at the documentation for database rules, you'll see there's quite a bit more you can do. If you look at the notes for the class, you'll see there's a lot of information there too. Week 3, yesterday, there's a lot of stuff about database rules in here. Here we go. Explains it step by step, explains the rules we've already put in there, and explains some of the stuff you can change it to. But what you'll find is that instead of just saying everything you can read and write, you can specify different endpoints have different read-write rules. So for example, we could say under notes, the rules are different. And we could say you can put a variable in there for one of the endpoints. So nested under notes, whatever that next thing is, we happen to know that that's our user ID. So we can make a little variable here for user ID. Because looking at our data over here, remember it goes notes and then the UID. And we could say for that, it gives us an auth variable that we can use in our rules. First of all, just to verify that they are logged in at all, and also to check what their UID is. So we could say you're allowed to read what's at the endpoint, rules, notes, user ID for any given user ID if, first of all, you are logged in. So auth is not equal null. And auth.uid, so whoever you are really logged in as, is equal to the UID for the endpoint that you're hitting. And there's even a cool way to test these rules right here. Now we want the same rule. Before you actually publish those rules, there's a big publish button there. So you can hit simulator. You can say, okay, simulate a visit to note herder blah 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 slash dstruce. Let's say I try to read that when I'm not authenticated at all. Simulated read denied. Okay, what if I am authenticated, but I'm authenticated with this UID? Simulated read denied. What if I am signed in, but I'm signed in as dstruce? Nope, screwed something up. Not anonymous. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Nope, simulated read still denied. $ user ID. Let's make sure. What did I type wrong? Oh, notes. I need /notes. That's what I need. Simulated read and allowed. Let's change that UID to something else to make sure that it is denied. And it is. So it did what I want. So I can publish that. Now, since those are the only rules in there, now, what's this? Yeah, I know, I get it. Notes is the only endpoint in there that matters right now. But we could say that, for example, anything at the endpoint public anyone can read. Then we could say public read true, Maybe we don't want everyone to be able to write that, but we want everyone to be able to read it. And we can simulate that. So if I'm not authenticated and I try to get to /public/anything, I'm allowed. If I try to write, I meant to put, maybe no one can write that. Can't write, but can totally read. I suppose we don't want people screwing with the public information. So that protects your database from your own programming mistakes, as well as really enforcing that a user ID can never accidentally access somebody else's notes. So that's the bit I forgot to cover yesterday.